Chicago cops in FISHLAND. BZ and her partner L.A., Branka Zafirovski and Leka Antic. They went by their nicknames were BZ and L.A. Were two Chicago cops sitting in their cruiser on an uneventful night when suddenly 4 fish in a car drove past them. They couldn't believe their eyes, but took off after the car in high-speed pursuit, when magically a circle opened up in front of them, and the car with the fish went right through the circle. BZ tried as best she could to stop the car prior to entering the circle, but she couldn't as she and L.A. were following so closely behind the other vehicle and traveling at such a high rate of speed that they both traveled straight through the opening to the other side. And once on the other side, the car with the fish never slowed down and was soon out of sight, as BZ kept her foot on the brakes till the cruiser came to a stop. Then she and L.A. scratched their heads and wondered, what the heck was going on here? As they got out of the cruiser and stood outside of it and looked around. This wasn't the city of Chicago anymore. This place looked more like it was somewhere out in the country. Nowheresville. Where are we? Said L.A. I don't know, said BZ. But Chicago doesn't look anything like this. Yeah, said L.A. Where are the buildings at? I don't know, said BZ, but I don't like this at all. Let's get back home and figure it out later, said L.A. Sounds good to me, said BZ. So they got back in their car and tried backing up as fast as they could, but the circle failed to open for them. Then they drove forward a good distance and made a U-turn and tried to drive quickly to where the circle had been, but again it failed to open for them. We gotta find that car with the fish in it. Hopefully we can convince them to show us the way back to Chicago, said BZ. I think they want that away, said L.A. Yeah, said BZ, I'm pretty sure that's the way we were headed when we first came through. Turned around a few times. Then L.A. said, the sergeant's going to kill us, said L.A., who was visibly nervous. BZ rolled her eyes at L.A., then said, the sergeant? The sergeant is the least of our worries. Where are we? What the heck happened to us? And how are we going to get home? Those are the questions we need answers to. Yeah, right, said L.A. So they drove until they came to a parking lot of a honky-tonk bar along the highway and thought they recognized one of the cars in the parking lot, and they thought it might be the car with the fish that they had been chasing. But they weren't absolutely sure of it. So they walked inside the honky-tonk, and the place was a-hopping, with lobsters, squid, eels, and behind the bar was this bird dressed up in a tuxedo, who said her name was Penguin. Welcome, friends, what'll it be? BZ pulled out a $20 bill and said, is this money good here? The Penguin looked at it and said, I ain't never seen money like that before. What pond did you say you hail from? BZ and L.A. both said, Chicago. Chicago, said the Penguin. I don't think I've ever heard of that pond. What kind of fish are you? We're humans. We're police officers, said BZ. Say what? Said the Penguin, who looked mystified. We're cops, said L.A. Geez, suddenly you could hear a pin drop as things got real quiet. Hey, man, said the Penguin, we aren't looking for any trouble, but the sharks run this place, and copperheads aren't welcome here. Well, said BZ, could you tell me if four fish came running in here 10 or 20 minutes ago? Yikes, stuttered the Penguin. First you go where you're not welcome, and now you're asking about the Lamprey brothers? Don't you know they're killers, man? You're either as green as they come, or else you're not real copperheads. No, not copperheads, said BZ. I said we're cops. Cops? What's a cop? Said the Penguin. Suddenly, Penguin saw Eddie the Eel leave the club. Now where's he going? Penguin thought to herself. We are police officers. We are a force for good drawn from the community, who take an oath to serve and protect the community and to uphold the law. Yeah, said L.A., we're the good guys. And as police officers, said Penguin. I thought you said you were cops. Means the same thing, said L.A. We keep the peace. Oh, said Penguin, like the sharks on this side of the city and the copperheads on the other side of the city. No, not like the gangs, said BZ, guessing that was what Penguin was talking about. We, as police officers, take an oath to serve the community. The only oath that the gangs ever take is to serve and protect themselves. That's why we're the good guys, said L.A., even though we're all human, said BZ. And occasionally you will get a bad cop, but thankfully they're the exception to the rule, not the rule. We choose to serve the community, said L.A. No one makes us. While the gangs, they're only in it for themselves. Yes, said BZ. It's just what's in it for me. That's all they care about. And that's why they always mess up, said L.A. Yeah, said BZ. We do it to keep everyone safe from the gangs, even the bad guys. We protect everybody, even the bad guys. Safe from the gangs, said the Penguin. Yes, said L.A. We secure, peaceful, and happy. That's the way we like it. Suddenly the room got quiet again. Well, I warned you guys, said the Penguin. It's little Donnie. L.A. turned and looked at the shark that had just walked into the bar, and then looked at BZ and said, I must be dreaming. The shark cut into the conversation and said, No, this ain't no dream, sweetheart. What bring you two copperheads to Muscle Lounge? Which is shark territory, like you don't know. Well, let's hear it. What are you two copperheads doing in our territory? They're not copperheads, said Penguin. There's something else. They said they were cops, said Eddie the Eel, who was suddenly back. Cops, said Donnie, suddenly nervous. And where did you two say you were from? Chicago, said L.A., when suddenly the lights in the club went out, then just as suddenly BZ and L.A.'s lights went out. And when BZ and L.A. came to, they were all tied up in the beer cellar of the honky-tonk. They could hear music playing upstairs and see dust falling from the ceiling of the cellar as the folks danced above them. A floodlight was pointed at them. You could hear Donnie the shark. He was talking to someone. I'm sorry, Dad, he said. I gave you a job to do, said the other voice. This never should have happened. It was a simple job, said Donnie. I thought the Lamprey brothers could handle it. Unfortunately, I was wrong. Whack. They could hear what sounded like someone had pounded the desk with his hand. I thought, now I've got to handle it, said the deep voice. Look, said BZ, we don't want any trouble. We just want to get back to home to Chicago. That's all, no trouble. How do you two dimwits know about Chicago? Said Big Donnie. That is where we're from, said L.A., and we just want to get back there, that's all. Well, we might be able to assist you in that, said Big Donnie. What's in it for us? We'll be gone. We won't be any trouble to you. You see, a while back, said Big Donnie, we found a machine that allows us to jump back and forth between here and Chicago. It seems some mobsters from that side of the pond came over here a while back with it. It seems that there was a lot of heat on them, so they needed a place to hide out for a while from the cops till the coast was clear.